How did they do the lighting on the Hailey Bieber Rhode Campaign? How did they do the lighting on the Mason Garments campaign? We're going to talk about all of those today. I'm going to break down the lighting. So I'm going to show you how I reverse engineering, how I learned lighting, how I still do it to this day. We're going to go through it. I'm going to show you diagrams. We're going to draw arrows and everything. Before I go into the lighting, I want to let you know that think of lighting tools, in fact, as almost like a chef's kitchen. Imagine going through a chef's drawers, lining up everything. Like you got 10 spatulas, you got 10 spoons, and you got wooden ones, and you got plastic, and you got metallic ones, and different pots and pans and everything. Let's just say maybe the person wants to do a barbecue that day. Bear with me for a sec. And technically, you can flip a burger with anything. You could do it with a wooden spatula. It's not going to be the cleanest, but you can do it. And the right person probably would do it. You could do it with a big spoon. You could do it with a couple forks. Or you can use the proper materials for it, like a metallic spatula, and it's fast and it's quick, efficient, and you have a higher level of success doing it. The same thing goes with lighting. So you could basically, like when you cook something, you can use any tool to get to the end goal. Some tools are just going to be better, but it's really up to you, and that's what makes a chef different. Like they like certain pots, certain pans, certain utensils for certain dishes. The same thing goes with photography, cinematography, any kind of filmmaking. You can use a softbox, you can modify that softbox, you can use an umbrella, you can use a beauty dish, you can even use like a bath sheet, like the bath curtain, the liner, to diffuse light. You can use a scrim. You can bounce off of a wall. You can put a white t-shirt over a light and diffuse it. It's ultimately up to you. The same modifiers, the same lights, they can do different things, and different modifiers and lights could do the same thing as something else can do. It's just how you get there. It's how you amend it, how you modify it. And that's what makes you a master in lighting, a master in the kitchen. In this case, we're talking about lighting. This is how I learned about it. So when I started reverse engineering things, I started thinking about things like, okay, I'm going to get myself 85% of the way there. The other 15% is the way Walid Azami does it. That's me. That other 15% is how you do it. And that's going to make you stand out. And so there is no right, there is no wrong. So when I do my lighting breakdowns, when I do the reverse engineering, I keep that in mind, and I want to remind you of it too. Let's go to Miss Hailey Bieber. She is obviously the owner, one of the co-owners of Rhode Cosmetics. And I like this campaign because this campaign is something that you can shoot, something you should shoot. If you're getting into cosmetic stuff, it's more, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way at all. It's a beautiful photograph, but it's attainable, and that's exciting for you, and you can do it. And I think that it requires very little. So here's how I would recreate the Rhode campaign with Hailey Bieber if I was to shoot it. Number one, I do believe that it's likely a large softbox. Okay. Or it's an Octobank. And I think that it's in front, a little bit to the side, just a little bit to the side of the photographer. The photographer is right in the front, but then just a little bit lower. And I like to do this also when it's cosmetic, when it's skincare. I like to show a lot of the neck. It makes the women look taller, more prominent. And so when you photograph somebody, you want her to look taller, you want her to look more statuesque. You come down lower, now you're shooting up, and you're like, oh, okay. When you shoot down, it shrinks them. Yeah, you want to shrink somebody in a political campaign, people will shoot down, make them look insignificant. But that's where I think that it is. What's so interesting about this campaign, and I said it's so doable, is that I think that it was a very intentional decision to make it low shadows. Like it's a flattering light, but it still is a flat image. Two different things. It's flattering, but it's a little bit flat. It has low shadows. It's done very, very simple. You can do this seriously with one light. All right, one light, and you can even do a couple $2 boards from the Dollar Tree. Nothing's a dollar anymore. As I look down, I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, it's likely a neutral profile, likely shot raw, and I hope that everything is. And even though it's a spread out light, still is a powerful light. Like I think that they just put the light a little bit closer to her. And two ways that I can tell of what kind of light it is that it has a diffusion. So likely it's like some kind of Octobank with some kind of diffusion sheet right in front of it, or it's a softbox that has a single or sometimes even a double diffusion. It depends on you, it depends on the power of the bulb and the distance between you and the subject, etc. The reason why I say that it's those is because when you look at the shadows underneath her neck, it's a really pretty soft gradient. It's not a hard shadow. So that's what makes me say, okay, this is a diffuse light. Now, another thing that I want to say is a diffuse light is that the shine on her cheek is there, number one, because of makeup. Okay, so that's why they have that there. It's obviously some kind of a skincare regimen, but it's not so blown out. And I think that's because the lighting was a little bit diffused. And to me, this is so nice. It looks like just sun-kissed almost. I think that she does a very good job on her campaigns. So it's a controlled lighting from a soft source. We discussed what that soft source might be. It's a mix of makeup, a little bit also for that sheen on her images. And remember, you're going to look at the shadows. So you always want to look at the light and say, okay, the light is coming this way. It's strong, it's weak, it's what have you. Now, it should double check out on the other side, counter checking it with the shadows. If you're like, oh my God, the light is kind of soft, you better get a soft shadow. And that's what you're like, okay, double check, we're good to go. Same thing with a powerful light, or you want to see where the light is. If this side of the face, and Hailey's is not like that, but actually let's look at this picture. She's turned to the side. So there's a darker side of the moon to her face. That's because the light is in the center for the most part. So whichever part of her face is in the center is going to be blown out the most. But I think that the light is center and then just a little bit to the side. Now, when she turns her face, it's turning away from the light. And so you get a darker side of the moon. But why is there like an outline on her face? On the darker side of the face, do you see there's a little bit of a beautiful shimmer, a little bit of a glow? And I think that that is from a giant V flat. There's a consistency in the photos that I picked today. A single light source, the sun, the softbox, potentially another softbox or an octobank, V flats, or white building, or some kind of a bounce. That's all you need to get 3 major campaigns. And so when they did this, I think that it's likely an 85. I would use an 85. I would have a 100 lens next to me, but I would use an 85. The camera, it could be an R5, it could be an R6, it could be your typical DSLR. It's more about the lens and it's about the lighting. V flat for a little bit of a fill, a little bit of a bounce. A single source octobank or a softbox, and that's all they got. And they got a beautiful model and a little bit of shimmer from the makeup artist, and you're good to go. That is it. But I will say one extra bonus tip on the Rhode campaign. I think that Hailey, I would imagine if I was having Hailey photographing, I'd say, okay, cool. Bring the donut up, bring it down, bring it up, bring it down. Because she's so extending her neck that if she wasn't moving, so when I'm moving, the muscles are still working. The tension comes from where motion meets stillness. So if I'm like this, that motion met the stillness, and you're going to start seeing tightness here. But if I'm just moving like this, there is no stillness. The muscles are more fluid. And I think that they probably had Hailey moving. Okay, great. Now pop back and forth this way. Okay, laugh. Don't laugh, laugh, don't laugh. And as opposed to the Mason Garments one, I think they didn't have him jump as much. They probably were like, okay, just jump, and I kind of just jump in place a little bit, but don't move too much because they want to keep that stance. His pose was really beautiful. As I want to talk about the Mason Garments campaign, I think it's a really cool photograph. The reason why I picked this photograph or this campaign is because anyone can shoot this. It doesn't require a lot. And also you could do this anywhere. You could do it in a small bedroom. You could do it in a garage. You can do it in a very small photo studio. You don't necessarily need a white cyc, but you could definitely do it on a white cyc. You can find a reflective surface almost anywhere. All you need is a white wall. Technically, you can even do this with Home Depot lights. But I want to bring it down to what I think is the situation here. Number one, I believe that there is a very large, I'm looking at the photos on my iPad, so if you see me looking down, I think that there is a very large overhead softbox above the model. The reason why I say that is because the light is so hot right here, it comes down, you get to see where the shadows are. The shadows are like right beneath his arms. And the reason why it's a softbox is actually a couple of different reasons. Number one, the highlights on the side of his head that is shaven, it's not really strong. It doesn't blow out the skin. So that means that it's a diffuse light. The more you reverse engineer it, the more, if you want me to do more of these to help you get there, I would love for you to put it in the comments and tell me whose campaign to break down. I will do that if you actually tell me, Walid, please break down the new whatever campaign you want me to break down. Okay, so we have shadows underneath the arms. That means the light is right above. We have a very soft, not very, but we have a softer highlight area that doesn't blow out. That means the light is probably diffused. Also, the light seems like it spreads throughout the body and throughout the scene. And I think that it's a singular source on the subject. So that means, well, very few lights can actually come in and take that much space. Think of a very large softbox. It could be a softbox. It could be an octabank. It could be any umbrella with a large sheet, like a bathtub liner, or it could be like a 10 by 10 scrim hanging from the rafters on top. And what that does is think of it like a cloudy day. When we get direct, harsh sunlight, you get strong shadows. You get strong light, you get strong highlights. But on a cloudy day, you get low lights, or you get like the softer highlights, you get weaker shadows, you get more of a gradient, and you get a light that spreads out everywhere. Think of a softbox just like that. The more you practice, the more you reverse engineer, the better you get at this. So now we have two clues. We have a highlight that is not too blown out. We have light that goes everywhere, and we know that the light is above and it's coming in from this side. So the model in the photograph is coming in from the left side, the model's right side. What does that mean? If the light is coming in from this side, the shadows are going to be over here. So that's how I really got cross-check things, is like, yes, the highlight is here. If the highlight is here, that's where the strongest point of light is, then that means the strongest point of shadow should be like directly underneath the arm. And when I check the photograph, that is exactly the case. Another reason why I think that it's not just any light but a softbox is that, well, two reasons. Okay, so yes, it's a softbox that helps the light spread everywhere. Now that spread out light, I can utilize that to bounce light back and fill in some of the shadows that's furthest away from the softbox. What is furthest away from the softbox? It's his feet. It's the product, the shoe. It is the pants. So what I think that they have off screen is actually a V flat on one side and a V flat on the other side. What that does is that as the light reflects off of the acrylic floor and bounces up, as the light reflects the tiniest bit off of the background and bounces back, as the light goes out to the sides, it bounces back and it helps fill in the darkness of some of the shadows, and that allows you to see more of the shoe, that allows you to see more of the pants. Now I do think that in post-production, what they did do is obviously brighten it up in layers and masks and all that to make sure that the shoe, the star of the shoot, is featured exactly right. Okay, now what about the wall in the background? That acrylic wall is interesting. What I think they did is that they put two lights very low to the ground. So I feel like that light is bouncing. You can see it on screen. It's bouncing on a wall and then it's coming back a lot softer. So one light on the right side covers the right side of the wall. The left light covers the left side of the wall. And I think that that's how they got that gradient. So the reason why I think the lights are on the ground is because the white, the brighter side, is on the ground. So it shoots up. That's the bright part, and then as the light gets weaker and weaker, the wall gets darker and darker. Even though I think it's a white wall, it has to be a white wall or a very light gray wall. The reason why it's that is because the softbox doesn't hit the back wall on top. Softbox comes down. Okay, so I hope that that makes sense. Now I just want to make sure that I finish this off with, okay, how do I think that they photographed it? I know that the photographer probably laid on the ground to get that, and it's got a wide angle shot, maybe 24 millimeters, I'm not sure. But when you look at that, obviously it distorts the body, it makes the shoe the star, and I think that they did a beautiful job on this campaign. You can do this this yourself. You could do this even on city streets and use ambient lighting, etc., and get this angle. Now, if you think that this was helpful, you should see us inside of my Discord. It's a private community and it's free. 100% complimentary. It's my give back to the community. And so the reason why I have a private community is because I want to make sure that you get the right information, you get it from a single source, and you get it from a proven source who has already done a lot of the things that you want to do. And that stops the confusion, because a lot of times what happens is a photographer, a filmmaker will jump from this YouTube channel. Then they're like, oh, but this guy said that. Oh, but she said this. Oh man, I'm confused. I'm gonna go back to the beginning. This channel, they say something like this, but someone else says something like that. And in the process, what happens is you get stuck in the middle, you get worn out, and you give up. And that to me is the biggest crime. So I was like, no, I've already done a lot of this stuff. I love teaching. I want to have you in my private community, and it costs zero. Absolutely zero. We just need you to contribute. That means encourage each other. That means answer other people's questions. That means ask questions. That means join us for the free workshops that I'm hosting in there. VBA is linked down below. My name is Walid Azami. My website is right there. And thank you for sitting through this lighting video. I appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do more of these, and if so, which campaigns. I'll be looking at the notes. Okay? Thank you so much.